Good evening, Intuitives. A little late on getting this video up. I got called in to work early past few days. Don't exactly like that because it's not like I'm dealing with, emergencies. At least not regularly. I work at a country club that's in a retirement community, so my EMT skills are needed at least twice a year. There's cardiac arrest or somebody falls and has a head wound, so occasionally it is an actual emergency, and then I'm the most important guy around. It's kind of a weird feeling. I like to work in an emergency team, not like everybody looking at me like I'm the one guy who can actually be useful in that instance. But regardless, that's just why I haven't had a video the past couple days. Double shifts, unplanned double shifts. Yay. Anyway, I had a thought the past couple days. Well, I've had more than one thought. I'm an INFJ. I have constant racing thoughts that don't go away and sometimes go into NITI loops. But specifically, I was thinking about one of our many INFJ paradoxes, and to be even more specific, how we are the most extroverted of the introverts, which makes us weird. A lot of things do. But we're going to talk about this one today. So, yes, INFJs are introverts, hence what the I stands for. And we have introverted intuition, which is kind of our main thing that's not very well understood, and we don't really understand it. And Carl Jung didn't even really understand it, and it's been mistaken for clairvoyance over the centuries. And we have introverted thinking as well. Two introverted functions because they have extroverted counterparts, but we don't understand those because we're us. But, unlike other introverts, we actually do enjoy interacting with people, specifically in deep conversation and truly getting to know someone, one-on-one conversations or discussions in small groups about things of great depth where there can be lively debate and you can read between the lines, like, theater or history or art or politics. Politics can especially be fun if you want to make a narcissistic ENTP who thinks he's a know-it-all look like an ass, because they all think they're the shit. Anyway, but we are introverts that do enjoy interacting and understanding people. One might wonder, wait a minute, aren't you introverts? Ah, yes, the other side of the coin. While we do enjoy interaction with people, specifically in those ways, and of course, getting to know someone and finding that ever elusive blue rose of unconditional love, which I think it's in Atlantis. I don't know about that. But we are not extroverts, because this comes at a cost. While we are, able to connect with certain people very deeply and at times even have like leadership charisma, we can only do it for so long. It's like a battery. There's only so much stamina we have to be extroverted until we must recharge. I have a reference in my head, and the hell with it, I'm going to use it. It reminds me once again of my favorite show when I was a toddler, of Thundercats. It's like Mum-Ra. When Mum-Ra becomes ever living, and gets into his strong form and leaves his pyramid, he's, all powerful, but he loses stamina and must recharge in his sarcophagus within his pyramid. Yes, that is what just came to my mind, so I'm just going with it. It's like that. We can, at times, be like holding court amongst a small group of people or in a deep conversation, but we can't do it indefinitely. We need our alone time to think and recharge and overthink and second guess everything we said and wonder what we could have done differently and how that could have played out, and overthink the hell out of maybe the person we were possibly making a connection with. Is that for real? Was she just being nice? What would happen if we were to ask her out? And a month or two later, we do it, for instance. So, it's like that for us. While we are introverted, we do at times exhibit traits that are commonly associated with extroverts, and we can arguably be considered ambiverts. It is a weird thing we have going on where we're as far over on the extrovert side that an introvert can be, and our counterparts are, the ENFJs. They are as far over on the introverted side as an extrovert could be, and probably part of the many reasons why we understand each other so well. But that makes INFJs different from like the stereotypical introvert who has no social skills and lives their life on a computer or lives the life of a reclusive hermit. And yes, I know that was redundant, but we are still introverts, and some people don't understand that because they see that we are at times very capable of interacting with people and giving like presentations and being leaders and perhaps even in rare instances being the life of the party. People that are extroverts, aside from maybe ENFJs, don't understand that we can't do that all the time. Like it's there is a limit. There is We can only sustain that for so long before we need that alone time to recharge. Like the idea of like, oh, go out to the pub with like half a dozen people you actually like. That's good. Well, that's not really draining, but it's like, oh, going to a nightclub with acquaintances and I'm being pressured into doing it. I don't know about that. Oh, the girl I have a crush on is going to be there. Well, I guess I can tolerate it for a night. We'll see. But to do it Friday and Saturday night back to back, no, 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 no. Now we're going too far, and you know that's where we would set up boundaries. But young INFJs, i.e., university age INFJs, aren't that good at boundaries. So we'll probably be drugged to the club 2 nights in a row and just try to drink more heavily to blend in, and that doesn't work out because you know a little bit of alcohol loosens us up a little bit. Drunk makes us more INFJ from what my own anecdotal experiences from what I can recall. So that doesn't exactly work. That is interesting to observe for INFJs too. Here's my sidebar for this video of how some types of people, alcohol can almost completely change who they are and their inhibitions and all that. And it doesn't really work for us. We're like, we still overthink. Drunk, we still overthink. We're still apprehensive to make the first move. Being a demisexual, no amount of booze in the world is going to change that either, even if you're given offers and it's like, you're pretty, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know anything about you. And you got some powder right here. But enough about my modeling days. So it is kind of one of our many paradoxes, and it is kind of an enigma how someone who isn't an INFJ and doesn't know anything about INFJs can see an INFJ one night being totally in their element and holding court and basically being the leader of a group conversation and having a good time and being charismatic and everybody likes them, and the next day be like, I just want to be alone and read my book now. And it's like, what the hell happened to you? It's like, are you sure you don't have dissociative identity disorder? Are you sure there's not more than one person up there? But that is in fact how we are in our natural state. Again, we are very capable of, being very outgoing for a time. We cannot do it all the time. Those that, are extroverted, again, they don't always understand that we can't always be that person, and we can't be expected to always be, that outgoing person who can be a leader and be charismatic and also can be that empathetic shoulder to cry on. Well, I mean, we can kind of do that all the time if we're talking like a one-on-one kind of scenario. But I'm saying in a more of in a group setting, we can't always be that person. And it's a bit of it's one of the many paradoxes of being an INFJ. That is, we are the most extroverted of the introverts, and that sometimes makes people question if we, in fact, truly are introverts. We most certainly are, and we most certainly need alone time, like all introverts, though not as much as some other types of introverts. And it depends. Certain social situations require less time to recharge than others. Like tailgating at a football game is going to require more time to recharge than a night out at the pub with people you actually like, kind of thing. So it's a bit hard to understand and even explain. Maybe it's not, but being an INFJ, putting thoughts into words don't exactly come easy to me a lot of the time. But I wanted to get this video out there because, yes, this is part of being an INFJ, and some younger INFJs may not understand this. I sure as hell didn't understand it when I was younger. It's like, why partying good one day, partying bad one day? Why this kind of party good? Why that kind of party bad? So here's a little intro. Hopefully it makes sense. If you're an INFJ, I hopefully makes sense to you. If you're not, if you're some kind of like extrovert that isn't an ENFJ or an ENFP, you're probably like, what the hell is he talking about? This guy just rambles on and goes up on tangents and he's all over the place. But nevertheless, I think I made my point. I hope this video helped for anybody asking this specific question or were wondering, can INFJs be extroverted? And the answer in short is yes, for short periods of time that require introverted time to recover. So remember, trust your intuition when it's time to be extroverted. Trust your intuition if you think you're able to handle it at the time. And don't sell out your integrity to fit in.